All right, good barely morning. It is 11:58 here in Hampton, Virginia. Welcome into War Memorial Stadium. Today, the St. Vincent Bearcats are coming to us to play two games today. Then they'll turn around and play two more tomorrow. So let's go ahead and look at the batting order. Clear the first one. We're going to look at the batting order for the Bearcats. You got Dylan Schmoody leading things off and playing center field. Golkoski is playing short. Fontana is playing first. Ald's batting cleanup and playing third. Boosie's the DH, batting fifth. Petty in right. Janosko is playing second and batting seventh. Tierney is batting eighth and playing left. And then LaRusso is doing the catching and batting ninth. All right, the Builders in the field. Kind of going back, I'm going to call it a little bit to what I think is this year's normal. Jaden Anderson's in left. Nate Urie's in center. Baker Green is in right. Around the horn, third to first. You've got Justin Bradshaw at third. Isaac McAllister at short. Landon Turner at second. He's back from a slight injury. Jet Winslow's at first. Seth Harrison's doing the catching, and Nick Redmond is doing the pitching. So Redmond getting the start of game one, and that first pitch is in for strike one. Outside. So pitching, Redmond. He's got a 4.01 ERA so far this season. He's 4-0. Grounded right back up the middle. McAllister over to Jet, but Jet couldn't quite scoop that one up. Redmond's 4-0 in his four starts. He's got two complete games. He's pitched 24 and 2/3 innings total, giving up 18 hits, struck out 29 batters. Opponents batting 198 against him. As Schmoody reaches on an error. So that'll bring up Golkoski. Throw over to first. Back safely. What am I doing? Apparently trying to open up something. Oh, my. All right, so Lane is batting .240 on the season, and he lays down a bunt. Redmond picks it up, fires over to first for the first out of the inning. That will move Schmoody to second. That'll bring up the first baseman, Chuck Fontana. Fontana's batting .227 on the season. His first pitch from Redmond is in there for strike one. Check swing ball. Over the weekend, the Builders went over and faced Southern Virginia, took that two-game series from the Knights. The Builders still only have one loss on the season. They're sitting at 11-1. Pitches in there for strike two to the Bearcat first baseman. The Bearcats are 3-7 on the season. You can see the dancing behind Redmond. That one's pulled foul to the concession stand area. Count remains 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Fontana's the second out of the inning, and that'll bring Jacob Ald to the plate. Ald batting .240 on the season with 25 at-bats, 4 RBIs. First pitch from Redmond. He swings through for strike 1. Outside, 2-1, 1-1. That was blooped very shallow left and just past the diving shortstop Isaac McAllister. Couldn't make the play. And Schmoody will come in to score. So that'll put Ald at first on a single for the first hit for the Bearcats. And that'll bring up Boosie, who is the DH. His first pitch is fouled away. TJ's batting .154 on the season so far. He's appeared in 6 games. Count is 0-1. Low and in. Counts even 1-1. Grounded to second. Landon with the scoop and the toss to first for the third and final out of the inning. However, the Bearcats get 1 run on 1 hit. Builders do commit 1 error. There was 1 left on base. We'll be back for the Builders half of the first inning in just a moment.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
All right, welcome back into War Memorial Stadium. Gorgeous, we'll say, upper 50s. Real quick, lineup for the Builders is Yuri leading off, then Jaden Anderson. Seth Harrison's batting third, with Jet Winslow batting fourth. Bradshaw's fifth. McAllister sixth. Thomas is seventh. Turner's eighth, and Green is ninth. So Nate Yuri steps in for his first at-bat of the day. And that one's, actually, I didn't see it. Couldn't tell by Nate's body language, so it must have been foul tip back to the screen. Counts 0-1. Bunted down the first base line. And that was very close. First baseman gets him on the unassisted play. So that'll bring up Jaden Anderson. Jaden's batting .447 on the season so far. He's got 12 RBIs and 2 home runs. Off-speed pitch was outside, ball 1. Grounded to third. Up and firing was Ald, and he pulled Fontana off the bag with a high throw, which allows Anderson to get on base. Bring up Seth Harrison. Where? Seth is batting .368 on the season. Appeared in every game so far. Or 12 games. Yep, that would be every game. Off-speed pitch low, ball 1. Runner on first. The 1-0. It's in there for strike 1. So far through 2 batters, I haven't seen anything that looks like it's coming real hard yet. Throw over to first, runner back safely. That last pitch was a 68-mile-an-hour pitch, and the pitch before that was at a blistering 60 miles an hour. High to center field. Back is Schmoody, and he makes the play. So now 2 down. We'll bring up Jet Winslow, the builder first baseman. He's batting .226 so far on the season. He's driven in 6. First pitch way outside. Two and 0 is the count to the builder first baseman. Jet, you can't see it as much from this angle as you could a few angles we've had over the previous years, but he stands very, very close to the plate. Three and 0. That might have been a curveball. Three 0, 2 outs. And that's a 4-pitch walk for Jet. So the Builders now have runners on first and second with 2 down. And Justin Bradshaw coming to the plate. The first pitch to Bradshaw is in there for strike 1. What looked like a curveball, looked like it had some good break to it. Bradshaw batting .345 on the season with 5 runs batted in. The 0-1 pitch looked like another curveball. All the way down to 55 miles an hour. I'm going to call it a fastball's in there for strike 2. Nolan Hurd is the pitcher for the Bearcats. Haven't seen anything extremely hard, as that one's fouled back and bounces back into the field of play. Count stays 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. A little high. 2-2. Two on, 2 outs. And that one's blooped into right field. Around comes Jaden. He's going to score. Jet will get to third. And Bradshaw has himself an RBI single. I'll bring Isaac McAllister to the plate, batting .333 on the season. 4 runs batted in. So the Builders have evened up the score. That one's outside, ball 1. Little high on that pitch. 2-0. Nolan Hurd has a 3.37 ERA. That pitch is in there for strike 1. He's 1-0 on the short season for them. He's made 2 starts, 1 complete game. He's pitched 10 innings. Down and in, 3-1. He struck out 5 and walked 4. And opponents are hitting .222 against him. And that curveball's in there for strike 2. Evens up the count, or makes the count full. 3-2. Runner on first and third with 2 outs. They'll get a head start here. And Isaac swings through that one for the 3rd out of the inning. But the Builders break it even, score 1 run on 1 hit with 1 error committed by the Bearcats. We'll be back for the 2nd inning in just a moment.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
The Apprentice Athletics Booster Club membership is now open for the 2024-2025 season. You could choose a general membership to support all Apprentice Athletics, or you can designate one specific sport to support. Membership is good for the entire 2024-2025 athletic year, regardless of which decision you make. Scan the QR code or visit gobuilders.com to get your membership today.
All right, welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Nick Redmond for his 2nd inning of work. First pitch from Redmond is a strike. 76-mile-an-hour fastball. That one's foul. No, it's not. It's hit into right field for a base hit. So Isaiah Petty leads off the second inning for the Bearcats with a single. That's the second straight inning that they've got their leadoff batter on. That'll bring trainer Janosko to the plate. He squares. Ball one. Trainer's batting .304 on the season. He's played in 7 games. Actually, I think I have that wrong. No, yeah, he's played in 7 games. 2 runs batted in. He fouls second pitch to the screen to make the count even at 1-1. Drops that bunt down. Bradshaw up with it, firing to first. For the first out of the inning. So in both innings, they've got their leadoff batter on, and then the second batter has sacrificed them over. That one's popped to right. Baker's under it, makes the catch. For the second out of the inning. That was Ryan Tierney. So it'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Armani LaRusso. And LaRusso is batting .500 on the season. He grounds that one right back to Redmond. And Redmond will take care of it with the put out to first. So the leadoff single doesn't hurt the Builders. We'll be back for the second inning for the Builders half in just a moment.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn.
All right, Builders half of the second inning due up is Jackson Thomas, Landon Turner, and then Baker Green. So 7, 8, 9 come to the plate for the Builders. As Hurd starts his second inning of work. Jackson Thomas batting .400 on the season. He lifts that one high to right field. Petty's under it, makes the play. That'll bring the second baseman, Landon Turner, to the plate. Landon's batting 158 on this season. He's only appeared in 6 games for the Builders. Like I said, he had a injury earlier on. First pitch to Landon is a ball. Fastball's in there for strike one. Evens up the count at 1-1. Landon, the sophomore, played a lot of, I think, second and short, if I remember right, last season for the Builders. Not short, second. Because we had Cam Weston at short last season. The 1-2 pitch in the dirt. 2-2. Cam's now on the coaching staff. Two blooped into center. That'll drop for a base hit as Landon gets his first hit of the day. Which will bring Baker Green to the plate. Baker's batting .226 on the season, driven in 5 RBIs. Walked 3? No. He's walked 6 times so far on the season. At 63-mile-an-hour curveballs outside, ball 1. That one's hit high into right field. Again, Petty under it for the play. Showing a little bit of range, charging that ball. Not a whole lot of wind. Flags aren't doing much out in center field. That'll bring Nate Erie to the plate, the Builders center fielder. Nate grounded to the first baseman in his first at-bat. He now steps in with 2 outs and a runner on first. Nolan delivers. Outside, 1-0. So it looks like Nolan's fastballs are ranging around 70 miles an hour. We've seen some 68. I think I've seen a 71. And that off speed's fouled high and out of play. And then he brings that off speed curve ball at about 60. 2-1 pitch to the Builders center fielder. Driven back up the middle past the diving shortstop. Builders now have 2 on with 2 outs. And Jaden Anderson steps to the plate. Jaden reached on an error by the throwing error by the third baseman in the first inning. Came around to score the Builders' only run. Seth Harrison is on deck. Fouled out of play. It's not a bad crowd out for the 12 p.m., 12 noon start. That pitch was a little high, 1-1. Grounded back up the middle. Nolan takes it, fires to first for the third and final out of the inning. So the Builders get 1 run, no runs on 2 hits. 2 hits, no errors, 2 men left. We'll be back for the third inning in just a moment.
The USCAA provides our program exactly what they say, a chance for small colleges to compete. It's leveling the playing field for everybody.
All right, welcome back. Bearcats bring the top of their order, 1, 2, 3, up to the plate. Here to start the third inning. So Schmoody fouls off the first pitch. St. Vincent College is in Latrobe, is I guess how you pronounce that, Latrobe, Pennsylvania. It's kind of southwestern corner-ish of Pennsylvania. That pitch was hit high into right field, caught by Baker. While I was looking it up, I noticed they have the airport right there by St. Vincent College is called Arnold Palmer Regional Airport. And that is Arnold Palmer's hometown. So, learn something new every day. Grounded back up the middle, right at Redmond. He scoops it and fires over to Winslow for the second out of the inning. So that'll bring up Chuck Fontana. Where'd my game go? There it is. Chuck Fontana. He struck out swinging in his first at bat. His first pitch from Redmond, curveball, stayed up, ball 1. Little outside. Counts now 1-2. No, it's not. It's 2-1. I marked the wrong thing. 3-1. Caught the inside corner to run the count full, 3-2 to the Bearcat first baseman. And that's grounded down the first baseline foul. Fastball foul back to the screen, hit off the top of the screen. So here comes the 8th pitch of the at-bat. That's low and away, ball 4. So that'll bring up the third baseman, Jacob Ald. Jacob is 1 for 1. He singled to left in his first at-bat. First pitch is a ball. Runner on first. Bearcats have had a runner every inning so far. One's grounded through the hole between third and short for the second hit of the inning. Or I'm sorry, the first hit of the inning. And the second straight Bearcat to reach base. So that'll bring up TJ Boosie, the DH. Grounded to second, his first at-bat. .80-mile-an-hour fastball from Redmond in there for strike 1. Strike 2. 0-2 is the count. Runner on first and second. Redmond gets him to swing at probably a pitch outside. For the third and final out of the inning. Bearcats get no runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 men left. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium in just a moment.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
Welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Builders half of the third inning. The Builders are bringing 3-4-5 to the plate, so Seth Harrison steps in. He singles. I'm going to say that's an infield hit. Is that one hopped kind of its way to short? Wait. Just marking the wrong spot. So that'll bring Jet Winslow to the plate. Jet walked his first at-bat. So now Jet steps up with a runner on first. Almost like the bottom fell out of that pitch at the very end. It's called a strike. High and away for ball one. Counts even 1-1. At first is the catcher. Seth Harrison. That one is grounded to short. Over to second for one. Did not get the speedy Jet Winslow. So that'll bring Justin Bradshaw to the plate. He singled to right his first at bat. Driving in Jaden Anderson. Comes up with a runner on first and one out. Low and away, ball one. One's hit towards right, out of play. Nolan has thrown 42 pitches through 2 1/3 inning. High and away, ball two. 2-1. Almost kind of looked like a pitch out to some extent. Outside, 3-1. Jet Winslow has not attempted a stolen base this season. And there's a walk. So Bradshaw, a 5-pitch at bat, draws the walk. It'll bring Isaac McAllister to the plate, who struck out swinging his first at bat. Isaac's hitting .333. Well, it's going to be a little less than .333 now on the season. 2 on, 1 out. Outside. 68-mile-an-hour fastball. Grounded to short for 1. Over to first for 2. So the Builders put some traffic on the bases but can't capitalize. We'll be back for the Bearcat top of the 4th inning in just a moment.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
The Apprentice Athletics Booster Club membership is now open for the 2024-2025 season. You can choose a general membership to support all Apprentice athletics, or you can designate one specific sport to support. Membership is good for the entire 2024-2025 athletic year, regardless of which decision you make. Scan the QR code or visit gobuilders.com to get your membership today.
Welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. 6, 7, 8 due up for the Bearcats. Isaiah Petty leading things off. Isaiah singled to right his first at bat. First pitch from Redmond's in there for strike one. Two-seam fastball. Well, that was a four-seam fastball as it was high and in. 1-1. It's a little close for comfort. Not for me, but probably for my camera. Pitch was fouled away, 1-2. Maybe looking for something off speed. So the first three pitches were fastballs. And that's what was thrown. And that was fouled away. Curveball grounded back up the middle. Isaac over to Jet for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up trainer Janosko. He laid down a sacrifice bunt in the second inning. That pitch is in there for strike one. Fastball's in there, strike two. 0-2 count. And that one's popped into left field. Jaden under it for the second out of the inning. So that'll bring Ryan Tierney to the plate. He popped out to the right fielder, his first at bat. And he pulls that one through the hole into left field for a single. I'll bring up Armani LaRusso. Grounded out to Redmond, his first at bat. Throw over, runner back safely. That fastball's in there, strike one. Redmond has started every batter this inning with a strike. Second straight strike. 0-2 is the count. 2 outs. Runner on first. Outside, 1-2. Again, 3 straight fastballs from Redmond. Swung through that one, strike 3. That'll do it for the Bearcat half of the 4th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium for the Builders half of the 4th in just a moment.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
All right, welcome back. Builders bringing 7, 8, 9 to the plate. Jackson Thomas leading off. He popped out to right field his first at bat. First pitch from Hurd outside. Low and away. 2-0. 3-0. Gives a 68-mile-an-hour fastball across for strike one. Counts now 3-1. Grounded to third. Ald over to Fontana for the first out. I'll bring up Landon Turner, who singled to center his first at-bat. Wind might be picking up a little bit. Okay, a lot. Judging by the flags, that one's outside. 1-0. Inside, 2-0 to Lando. Caught the inside corner of the plate for strike one. Counts now 2-1. Landon grounds that one through the middle of the infield for his second hit of the day. I'll bring Baker Green to the plate. Baker's 0 for 1 today. Popped out to the right fielder. His first at bat. He squares to bunt and goes foul down to first base line. Landon has decent speed at first. Baker has decent speed coming out of the box, too. So the 0-1 pitch coming from Nolan. Squares again, pulls it back. Count is even, 1-1. Builders in their white with maroon pinstripe uniforms today. Squares again, outside, 2-1. Bearcats in their black tops with gray pants, green numbers. Squares bunts it back to the pitcher. Now, I'm going to go out on a limb and say if he hadn't stumbled coming out of the box, he might have beat that out. But that's 2 outs anyway, so that'll bring up the center fielder, Nate Yeary. Nate is 1 for 2. Singled to center his last at bat. One on, 2 down for the Builders. First pitch to Nate Yeary. He's in the dirt, 1-0. Caught the outside corner. That fastball there. So evens up the count, 1-1. Nate golfed that one out of play. Bounces. Landed in front of the cop car, bounced over it. Out of play again. 1-2. The 1-2 to Nate Yeary. Grounded to the shortstop. And Landon will stay at third. As that one short hopped the shortstop. So that'll bring up Jaden Anderson, the left fielder. Still waiting on an official ruling for that. So they're calling that an E6. So Jaden is 0 for 1 today. He reached on he's 0 for 2. He reached on an error and grounded to the pitcher. First pitch he saw was a ball. Second one he swings through and misses to run the count even at 1-1. Runner first and third. 2 outs. Bottom of the fourth. Jaden pulls that through the hole. Landon will come in to score. The Builders take the lead 2-1. So that'll bring up the catcher, Seth Harrison. He's 0 for 2 today. Grounded to short his last at-bat, and then popped out to the center fielder in his first at-bat. Runners on first and second for the freshman catcher. That one gets Over the plate, strike one. 63-mile-an-hour curve ball from Nolan. Runners go. Nate's in there safely at third. Jaden followed suit going to second. Pitch was called a strike. So the count's now 0-2 to the Builder catcher. Builders trying to add to their lead. And he got Seth looking. Definitely the one player who's not going to argue or even remotely try to argue a ball and strike is the catcher. That'll do it for the Builders. They get one run on, I think, one hit, one error was made. We'll be back for the top of the fifth inning here at War Memorial Stadium in just a moment.
The USCAA provides our program exactly what they say, a chance for small colleges to compete. It's leveling the playing field for everybody.
All right, welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Top of the fifth inning. Nick Redmond, through 4 innings, has thrown 54 pitches, struck out 3, walked 1. And in the fifth, the Bearcats bring to the plate 1, 2, 3. So, Schmoody leading things off, and, I actually thought that pitch hit him. It was just way inside for ball 1. That one's grounded to there is no way Redmond was going to beat that one out. So Dylan Schmoody gets an infield hit. As he kind of grounded that one towards the hole between first and second. Jet got there, but Nick Redmond did not. So leadoff runner aboard. Snap throw to first. Back safely. I think the pitch was a ball, I think. And it was a ball. As Golkowski turned, squared to bunt. He squares again. Bouncer to Redmond, who gets him at first. And Schmoody moves over to second. So this is the third inning that the Bearcats have executed, I'm going to say about perfectly, the sacrifice bunt. I'm going to bring Chuck Fontana to the plate. Struck out his first at bat, walked his second. And the first pitch is a fastball for strike one. Little inside. What the heck? Where'd you come from? Turn around, and there's a carpenter bee buzzing around my head. That one's fouled out of play. Counts now 1-2. Two and two is the count. Counts now full, 3-2 to the Bearcat first baseman, Chuck Fontana. Runner on second. Swung through that, strike three. So that's two down here in the top of the fifth inning. Third baseman Jacob Auld steps in. He's 2 for 2 today. Got a run batted in. Both singles are to left field. First pitch was a ball. That one popped straight back over my head. Counts even, 1-1. Grounded to third. Bradshaw fires across the diamond. Jet scoops it for the third and final out of the inning. Their leadoff man gets on, but no damage was done. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium in the Builders half of the fifth inning in just a moment.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
All right, welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Bottom of the fifth inning. Builders bring 4-5-6 to the plate. Leading it off is Jet Winslow. He's 0 for 1 today. He walked and reached on a fielder's choice. First pitch to Jet is a strike. So 0-1's the count. Curveball, ball one. Counts even 1-1. Another curveball, 2-1. Two-one pitch. Out of play. 2-2. That One's bloop to right field. Jet gets his first hit of the day. That'll bring up Justin Bradshaw, the third baseman. Bradshaw's 1 for 2 today. Oh, 1 for 1. He walked in his second at bat. He's got a run batted in. So here he is with no outs and a runner on first. Infield's kind of in. Third baseman is playing close to the grass. Nope, he's going to stay on the grass. Second baseman looks like he's about halfway in, and short's almost at normal depth. First pitch to Bradshaw is a ball. Nolan has thrown 77 pitches so far. Squares to bunt does Bradshaw, but he bunts that out of play. Not out of play, but foul. That'd be more impressive if he would have bunted it out of play. It would have been an impressive attempt in a way. Counts even 1-1. Squares to bunt again. He bunts that one down the line. Count is now 1-2. Conventional wisdom would tell me that Bradshaw's swinging away on this one. The 1-2 pitch. It's grounded to short. It got by him. Kind of bounced by him, and then the center fielder and not center fielder, the left fielder and shortstop kind of collided as he was throwing to third. So Jet has made his way all the way to third. Bradshaw's made his way to second. All right, so the coach has come out to the mound. He's taking the ball. We'll have a pitching change. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium in just a moment.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
The Apprentice Athletics Booster Club membership is now open for the 2024-2025 season. You could choose a general membership to support all Apprentice athletics, or you can designate one specific sport to support. Membership is good for the entire 2024-2025 athletic year, regardless of which decision you make. Scan the QR code or visit gobuilders.com to get your membership today.
All right, the new pitcher is number 4, Connor Soska. He comes in to inherit runners at second and third. With nobody out, Isaac McAllister stepping to the plate. The line for Nolan, he went 4 innings through 81 pitches, walked 2, struck out 1, and one of those was looking. We got a new shortstop coming in. It's number 42, Carlos Rubio. So Rubio's going into play short. Infield's in to protect a run. First pitch was inside, I guess. That looked kind of down the middle from my vantage point, but counts 1-0 to Isaac McAllister. That's in there for strike 1. McAllister's 0 for 2 today, struck out and grounded to second. High and away, ball 2, counts 2-1. Nolan is responsible for the runners at second and third. Two and two's the count. As Isaac swings through that 71-mile-an-hour fastball. Outside, 3-2. Count is full to the Builder shortstop. And he got him looking. Isaac thought it was inside, but the umpire said no. Infield is staying in, again, trying to protect a runner from scoring. And that brings Jackson Thomas to the plate. Thomas is 0 for 2. First pitch is a strike. The 0-1 pitch. Fouled out of play. 0-2. Last homestand the Builders had 2 weeks ago. Got to talk to Jackson for a couple minutes in the dugout before game 1. I think it was on the Friday of that 4-game series. Getting to know him a little bit. Count is now 1-2 to the Builder DH. High, 2-2. He was doing a lot of courtesy running at that point in the season. This was before Luca. The opening series catcher got hurt. Counts full, 3-2, 1 out. Three-two pitch. Base hit up the middle. 1 run will score. 2 runs will come in. And Jackson has a 1-out, 2 RBI single. So both of those runs are charged to Nolan. So Nolan is credited with giving up 4 runs. Only one of the runs is earned. As Jackson gets back, Jackson, this is some of what we were talking about in the dugout. Jackson is 1 for 1 on stolen base attempts, as they've now thrown that way twice. Landon Turner stepped in. First pitch he sees is a strike. That one gets away from the catcher, but not far enough for Jackson to move over. Landon's 2 for 2 today. Both of those hits are singles up the middle. They throw over again. And he has scored a run. Outside counts even, 1-1. Oh, 2-1. I missed a pitch somewhere. Three and one. To the builder, second baseman. Landon hits that one right to the first baseman. He bobbles it a little bit, but just steps on the bag for the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Baker Green. Baker's 0 for 1. Flew out to right and then had a sac bunt his last at bat. So 1 on, 2 outs. Isaac doing a little dancing at second. That one again in the dirt. 1-0. I'm sorry, that's not Isaac. That's Jackson Turner. Jackson Thomas. The 1-0 is in there for strike one. Right over the pitcher's head. Second baseman makes a good stop, but Baker beats the throw. All right, we got another pitching change. So we'll see who the new pitcher is when we get back.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow, where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
All right, welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. Number 33, George Wanaka is now pitching for the Bearcats. As Soska went 2/3 of an inning through 20 pitches. Walked none, struck out one. And is responsible for the runner at first. So now Nate Yeary steps in. 2 down, runner on first. First pitch he sees is a ball. And Nate's 1 for 3. Runner goes. Baker's in at second. Nate Yeary's 1 for 3. He grounded this, or he singled to center his second at bat. That one's low. Makes it count 2-1 to the Builder center fielder. Caught the outside corner, strike 2. Two and two's the count. Inside, 3-2. Runner on second and third. Nate pulls out into the first baseman, flips it to the pitcher, and ump says he got him. Builders score 2 runs. Hold on, I'll get it for you in a second. Get 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, 2 men were left. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium in just a moment.
The USCAA provides our program exactly what they say, a chance for small colleges to compete. It's leveling the playing field for everybody.
Welcome back, War Memorial Stadium. Nick Redmond getting ready for his 6th inning of work through 5. He's thrown 67 pitches, struck out 4, walked 1. 5, 6, 7 due up. So we've got a pinch hitter, number 10, Ben Hudson. Pitch hitting for the DH, Boosie. Let's find some stats on Ben Hudson. He's batting .300 with 6 RBIs so far on their short season. The count is now 2-2. Man, Nick Redmond, you blink, you're going to miss a bunch of pitches, and Nick strikes him out. That's not the 3rd out. I do like that about Redmond. For the most part, you throw the ball back to Nick, he gets the sign, he throws the ball. Not a lot of wasted time on the mound for Redmond. Two-seam fastball, strike one. Isaiah Petty steps in now. Swing and a miss, strike two. Isaiah is 1 for 2. Singled and grounded to short. He's now got a 0-2 count. Looked like that might have been another two-seam fastball. Stayed outside for ball one. High foul ground, but no one can get there. Count remains 1-2. Builders have a little action to pen Grant Stratton up and throwing, should he be needed. That one's hit into left center. Gets a little by Baker. Relay throw is cut off and then honestly thrown away. As Isaiah Petty's in with a double. So that'll bring up the second baseman, Trainer Janosko. Janosko is a sophomore. His first pitch. It's a ball. So he now has a 1-0 count. 1 out, runner at second. 2-0. That fastball was outside. It's the first time they haven't really tried to sack bunt immediately. That one's hit high down the third base line. Over is Jaden. It was in his glove. But it falls safely to the ground for the Bearcats. Count is now 2-1. Jaden raised his glove, had it. Seemed like he had it in there. Pitch is called strike two. Looked like it might have been a little outside. But the count is now even at 2-2. And then when he threw his hand forward, the ball kind of came out of his glove. He got him looking, strike three. That pitch, I will give the umpire this. That pitch looked like it was at about the same spot as the last one. So that'll bring up Ryan Tierney. Tierney's 1 for 2, swing and a miss, strike one. Swing and a miss, strike two. No balls, 2 strikes to the Bearcat left fielder. Runner left. I swear before Redmond ever lifted his leg. However, the pitch was fouled back to the screen, so he'll return to second. Let's see where he took off. Redmond looked, he went set, and then runner took off. All right, strike 3 swinging. Runner, batter took off for third. Third out of the inning. We'll be back for the Builders' half of the 6th inning here at War Memorial Stadium in just a moment.
How much you earn has a lot to do with how much you learn. That's why Bayport Credit Union is again investing in your continued education. Through our Bayport Foundation, we're giving $100,000 in tuition assistance to area high school seniors, college students, and working adults attending a university, trade, or vocational school. Everyone deserves to be happy, healthy, and financially wise. Visit bayportcu.org to learn more.
I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII, building the most powerful ships in the U.S. Navy. The digital technology I use is a generational change in the way that we build ships, making the construction of aircraft carriers more efficient. Plus, I get to work with veterans. Thanks to them, we all have our freedom, and we need to work hard to keep it. I am Fatima Medina, and I work for HII.
All right, welcome back to War Memorial Stadium, bottom of the 6th. It would help if I was on the right side of my scorecard. 2-3-4 due up for the Builders this inning. First pitch to Jaden is a strike. Jaden's 1 for 3 today. Second pitch was outside, 1-1. He reached on an error, grounded to grounded to the pitcher. And then singled to left field. Curveball was outside for ball 2. 2-1's the count. Three and 1 as that fastball was high. Jaden thought that was ball 4. The umpire said no, it was inside. 3-2's the count. Three-two pitch. Ball 4. Jaden draws a leadoff walk. That'll bring the catcher, Seth Harrison, to the plate. Seth is 1 for 3 today. He has struck out and singled to the shortstop as that one's high and in and gets him. So Seth will now get to go to first base. That'll bring Jet Winslow to the plate, the Builders' first baseman. Jet's 1 for 2 today. Got a coach. Got a little mound visit. I think it's not the same coach, so I think that's the pitching coach. Now, he could be buying time for the guy who is up in the bullpen. So Jet, 1 for 2. He's walked, reached on a fielder's choice, and singled to right field. So he's gotten on base every time he's been to the plate. That one skips in front of the plate for ball 1. Runner on second is Jaden Anderson. Seth Harrison is at first, and that one's grounded foul down the third base line. Coach Scarola does a great job of getting out of the way. Counts even, 1-1. Outside, 2-1. .64 mile an hour off-speed pitch. The 2-1 pitch. It's hit high in the air to short. Rubio called everybody off. I think they called the infield fly rule, which would make the runner out and everyone and the play dead, I believe. So he called infield fly. Jets out. Since the ball hit the ground, runners are now at first and third. Infield is in again. Now, this time I don't understand it. Because you got one out and a runner at first. Play your infield at normal depth. Turn 2, you're out of the inning. Oh-2 count to Justin Bradshaw. There's a look at the infield and how they're playing. Runner goes. Pitches outside. No throw. Counts now 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. For the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Isaac McAllister. Infield will return to normal depth with 2 down. Coach Scarola giving Isaac a couple words before he steps in. Builders lead 4-1 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Isaac McAllister steps in. He's 0 for 3 today. First pitch to Isaac is high, ball 1. Isaac fouls that pitch. Even up the count, 1-2, or 1-1. Evened it up, and then I don't say an even count. There's my brain working correctly. The 1-1 pitch. It's hit high to center field. In comes Schmoody. He makes the play. And that'll do it for the Builders' half of the 6th inning. Builders score. No runs, no hits, no errors. 2 men left. We'll be back to War Memorial Stadium for the 7th inning in just a moment.
There are giants among us. They are the men and women building our Navy's next generation submarines. They are giants in what they do because they work in a place where they can grow. where they can learn the skills to build careers as powerful as the beasts they forge. We build giants because it takes one to build one.
The Apprentice Athletics Booster Club membership is now open for the 2024-2025 season. You could choose a general membership to support all Apprentice athletics, or you can designate one specific sport to support. Membership is good for the entire 2024-2025 athletic year, regardless of which decision you make. Scan the QR code or visit gobuilders.com to get your membership today.
Welcome back to War Memorial Stadium. New pitchers, Grant Stratton for the Builders. Grant has a sophomore status. I don't remember if he was on the team last year or not, to be honest. So that'll be the end of Redmond's day. Ooh, need to fix that camera a little bit in between games. That'll do it for Nick Redmond. His final line reads 6 innings pitched. Gave up 6 hits, 1 run. It was not earned. He walked 1. He struck out 7, one of which was looking. And threw a total of 86 pitches. 61 of those pitches were for strikes. So, very efficient day for Nick Redmond, in my opinion. Looking more and more each outing like the Nick Redmond we saw his freshman season. So, 9-1-2 due up. As number 9, Austin Hester, steps in. Pinch hitting for the catcher. He's got a 2-1 count. And he hits that ball high into center field. Back goes Yeri. It's off the wall. Rounding second is Hester. The throw's going to come in. And Hester gets a leadoff triple. And that'll take us back to the top of the order. And Dylan Schmoody, the leadoff batter for the Bearcats. He's 1 for 3 today. First pitch to Dylan is a ball. Schmoody's reached on an air. Flew out to center. Or I'm sorry, flew to right and then grounded to, or singled to right. He pokes that one foul down the right field line. Counts now 2-1. Grounded to third. Bradshaw takes that high hopper and throws out Schmoody for the first out of the inning. However, Hester does come in to score. So that'll bring should bring Rubio. Yep, Carlos Rubio to the plate. Says first. Nope. So that's, he said number 7. 2-1's a count to the pitch hitter Reed Rackwall. Counts now 3-1. Stratton, 3-1 pitch, fouled away. Counts full, 3-2. The payoff pitch. Grounded past a diving Bradshaw. And Rackwall's in with a double. Another pinch hitter. As we mentioned earlier before we went on air, Bearcats got to have a roster. They got a bunch of players. So number 49, Evan McGee. Coming in to pinch hit for the Bearcats. As Coach Jones goes out to talk to Stratton. Thinking it's just one of those, hey, we've still got a 2-run lead. We're good. And the Bearcats have only had one of the regular lineup batters come to the plate in this inning. Started with a pinch hitter, then Schmoody came up. Then we had a pinch hitter, now we have another pinch hitter. Low. First pitch to McGee is low for ball 1. So the 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. Runner on second is Rockwall. There's strike 1. 83-mile-an-hour fastball from Stratton. The 2-1 pitch. Three and 1. Give him a walk. I don't think he hit him. Another pinch hitter, number 21. Nope, it's not a pinch hitter. It's Shakebald. That's who should be batting. So we got a pinch runner, Ryan Thinneth. That's what made me think we had a pinch hitters, because the coach went to his scorecard. That one's popped high towards second, really first, over his Landon to make the play. And stepping in is number 10, Ben Hudson, who came in and hit last inning. That pitch is outside. Throw down to second. Actually hit the runner. So Ben is 0 for 1. He struck out his last at bat. That pitch was a ball. Allen catches the outside part of the plate. First strike one. Counts even, 1-1. Oddly enough, the two, we'll call them starters, have committed the 2 outs this inning. The pinch hitters have done their job and gotten on base. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So, the infamous proverbial last strike for the Bearcats. Grounded foul down the third base line. So we'll do it again. No, don't go there yet. This game had great pace to it, then came to a screeching halt. I'd say maybe the bottom of the 5th inning. The 1-2 pitch hit into right field. Baker's under it for the 3rd and final out. That'll do it. Final scores: is Bearcats 2, Apprentice School 4. So the Bearcats score 2 runs on 8 hits and commit 3 errors. The Builders score 4 runs on 10 hits and commit 1 error. The next game will start here in roughly 30 minutes. So we'll see everyone back at 2:25, I guess, for first pitch of game 2. We'll see you then.